The Ravens have had an eventful offseason, to say the least. They originally planned, as we were reminded there, to acquire Maxx Crosby from the Raiders for 2 first-round picks, but backed out of the trade agreement and instead signed Trey Hendrickson to a 4-year, $120 million deal. The team has also lost a handful of meaningful contributors, led by Tyler Linderbaum, Isaiah Likely, Draymond Jones, Alohi Gilman. There's a lot to talk about here with Jesse Minter. And the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens joining us now, Jesse Minter. So glad to have you here with us. We appreciate your time. I know you have been asked about Lamar Jackson probably 300 times today. We're going to make it 301. I'm curious, this is a player that plays at MVP level all the time, right? He's one of the best players in the league. How do you plan, though, to unlock even more out of Lamar?
You know, we want to build on what he is. You know, I think he's the best player in the National Football League. We want to build an offense that at times allows him to do that, at times takes a little pressure off of him. We want to have a dominant line of scrimmage, a dominant run game. We want to build the best defense in the league to put with him. And we think we'll create an environment where there's still an even greater step he can take.
That's him on the field, obviously, but one of the conversation points has been his future with the Ravens. And sometimes we get the contract talk, and you're like, I'm the coach. I'm just dealing with talk to Eric about that. But from your vantage point, how important is it to make sure that Lamar Jackson is the future of the Baltimore Ravens?
Yeah, Lamar knows how the organization feels about him. We know how he feels about us. We think in due time that'll all work itself out.
One of the things that you mentioned in your introductory press conference is just how important the off-season programs are for players and how you want them to buy in. Do you expect Lamar to be there next week?
I have a pretty good confidence level that we'll have a lot of attendance there starting on Monday, and look forward to seeing who all that's at. It's about us creating an environment where they want to be there, where they feel like they're getting a lot out of it. We have a ton of respect for the rules, that it's voluntary, so we need to make it an environment that they feel like they're getting better. And so we look forward to starting that on Monday.
How important would it be, though, to have Lamar there?
Yeah, Lamar is certainly a key piece of the team, but he's also, you know, he's won MVP doing it a multitude of different ways. So I'm very confident that in September we'll have Lamar where we need to have him. And so, again, just look forward to the work that we get to start this week.
We've seen him win an MVP with Greg Roman. We've seen him win an MVP with Todd Monken. Insert Declan Doyle. How have you seen that offense come together a little bit, even if it's just on paper or maybe over the film work?
It's been great. It's been great. I've just strengthened my feeling of Declan the more and more that we get to spend around each other, the more time we spend together, learning the offense, learning each other, learning how I can help him, how he can help me. We've had a great relationship and very, very excited about the direction of our offense.
What made Trey Hendrickson such a good fit for what you want to do defensively?
You know, Trey's an elite pass rusher, and when you look at playing with the lead and the ability to close out games, oftentimes it's pass defense, it's sacks, it's interceptions, it's turnovers. Having that guy that can win those one-on-ones, not only can he win the one-on-ones, but he can also draw attention that at times can create other opportunities for other people. So very excited about Trey. He's got, I've said this a bunch, he has the second most fourth quarter sacks in the last 5 years, and that's an area where we want to be dominant as a team, finishing games. And I feel like he's a closer for us. He'll be in that type of role, and I'm very excited about him.
18 years this organization has had one man leading the front of the room. You were on that coaching staff with John Harbaugh, of course. What have you done to go out of your way to maybe say, it's the Jesse Minter era now. We respect the past and what we've accomplished, but here's my imprint on this team.
I think you said it. I mean, I've been around a lot of great coaches. That's put me in a position to be where I'm at. I've tried to take a little bit from everybody that I've been around. Certainly the Harbaughs, both of them have been a major influence on me. But at the same time, man, I've taken things from every stop. I've taken things that I would do the same, maybe that I would do different. And I want the players to feel like it's our program now, that it's change is change. You know, sometimes it just happens after such a long time. Love and respect and have great admiration for John and the job that he did there. There is a great foundation in place. And so it's putting our own spin on it, and we look forward to starting that next week.
You're here at the annual league meetings as a first-time NFL head coach. Have you taken a moment to just be like, wow, this is pretty cool, and enjoy that part of it?
Yeah, I mean, when you just walk into these big meetings and you see how just the way the NFL operates in the business side of things and why it's so successful, how it's so successful, you learn a lot about that in some of these deals. And so you just, like, the respect level for how it operates just goes even higher. And then you get a chance to meet a lot of the other coaches, certainly know some of them from over the years. But it's a cool, and it's kind of its own little fraternity. You know, there's only 32 of them.
Who did you meet that you didn't know beforehand that you walked away, you're like, that's a cool guy?
Yeah. I would say that I didn't know beforehand, probably Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
You know, just having like a short, small conversation with him yesterday. Somebody that I don't think I'd ever even met. And so, yeah, that one sticks out.
One thing I do want to ask about the Crosby deal, obviously that goes down and you've had to answer questions about it. Now that we're a couple of weeks removed, what learning experience do you take from that whole entire thing, whether it be the media reaction or it be the discussions with the player himself, all of it? There's a learning lesson somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, it's this thing, there's going to be ups and downs no matter what, whether it's in a game, whether it's dealing with stuff like that. To try to really stay even keel, not ride the wave. We were super excited about the thought of Maxx Crosby. We were disappointed that it didn't work. But I think you learn just to trust the process. Everything has a process through it. We went through the process. The result what it was. And so I think you just got to learn to stay even keel, not try to ride that wave too high, and always be ready to respond. Yeah. So whatever happens to you, it's not what it is. It's how do you respond. And I'm very, very happy and proud of our organization, how it was handled and how we responded to it. And I feel like we're in a great place.
It's great life advice, too. Thanks to the recovery timeline as the Chiefs are keeping a close watch. Their star quarterback working back from injury. You saw some of the footage of that last week. Many have been eager to see if he'll return in time for the start of the season. Remember, they did sign Justin Fields as a backup. Our Chiefs reporter Nate Taylor also dropped a little more info about Mahomes' recovery timeline yesterday, tweeting, "Here are the NFL owners' meetings. A news tip from Clark Hunt. The Chiefs are not expected to start the season in Seattle. I don't think that's on the timetable anymore. I think from a league standpoint, there would be some concern whether Patrick Mahomes would be ready to go." So that's from the owner's standpoint. How about this? New on NFL Live, Andy Reid spoke today on where things stand with Patrick Mahomes' recovery.
So he's been in the building every day, so I've had a chance to kind of see him progress through this thing. He's doing great. It's hard to measure, are you ahead of schedule or not? I mean, who makes the schedule, right? So every player is different. I will tell you, though, I would never bet against him. He's always going to put in the time and effort, and always push it, but within reason, so he doesn't take steps back. So far, it's all been positive.
Jeff Darlington joining us here now. And Jeff, I think, when we all think about Patrick Mahomes, like everyone still thinks he's the greatest, but a lot of people haven't talked about him as much, right, just knowing that he's been out. What is the preseason plan from what you know and talking to the Chiefs?
Well, they don't want to put a timeline on it. You heard Andy Reid say within reason. I disagree with that completely. Patrick Mahomes does not subscribe to the idea of within reason. He does think that he can be on the field for week one. He has to limit the expectations and listen to the doctors, yes, but he is grinding. The one interesting part about the Chiefs offseason, too, is that it did end, obviously. It started much earlier than any other recent year. So he's having a chance not only to rehabilitate the knee, but to rest his entire body, which obviously is a good sign. And I learned, actually, Peter, from the Schrager Hour.
There you go.
From Brett Veach, that he's full throttle, and I thought it was cool to hear that.
Let's go Schrager Hour.
90% of his rehab is occurring, according to Brett Veach, on the Schrager Hour in the facility.
I was just going to add, so the Schrager Hour is a show that I do for ESPN.
How long
you can find it. It is over there. It's an hour long. And we had Brett Veach on as our guest this week, and Brett, who's a GM, said he's doing his rehab in the facility. So they see him all day long. But here's the other part of it. He's taking a trainer with him from the Chiefs back home with him to Dallas when he's not in the facility.
Oh, I like that.
So he has his trainer from the Chiefs working him out every day in the facility under their eyes. And then when he's not in the facility and he's back down in Dallas, that same guy is living with him in Dallas so that they're training. So this is unlike any rehab you've seen.
That's
very rare.
Most
so
of the time, these players that are recovering, it's like they have their own guys working with them or girls, and then it's like, okay, well, you got to report back to the team, and then sometimes it does feel like the timelines get real murky. I mean, this feels like they're communicating directly with each other. They know exactly what's going on. I like that. Andy Reid also, he had work done on his knee. He's getting around great around here. Adam Schefter brought that up earlier. If you need to get something done to your knee, go to Kansas City.
Apparently,
good there.
And I would just end with the Mahomes side of it. Patrick's been very much involved in conversations with Andy and with Brett as far as the offseason has gone. So don't get it twisted. If they didn't address wide receiver, if they didn't do that, Andy Reid and Brett Veach rely on Mahomes' opinion quite a bit.
Okay, absolutely.
Now too.
Eric Bieniemy as well.
Expect that offense
Thanks
to
for
look
that
a lot
promo,
different.
dude.
Yeah,
That's good.
We like to promo the incredible hour.